Welcome to the Midweek Mashup.
Get down! Get down! Here we go now! Get down!
Welcome to the Colin with the Boys podcast. My name is Asen, and this is Nathan.
Hello.
This is the Midweek Mashup, where we bring you the latest in gaming news and douchebaggery. I don't even know if I want that to be the tagline, but you know, it's whatever. But that kind of gets me into the next thing is these midweek mashups will probably change in style every week, so don't expect anything uniform quite yet. It's kind of our experimental episode, so bear with us while we explore what we can do with it. But we're enjoying ourselves, so
Yeah.
I guess we hope you're enjoying yourself too.
Enjoy my quality bonding time with you.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
I don't ever talk to
we
you
used to
anymore, so this
spend
is where
like the majority of our lives together when you lived with me. We just always graced each other with our own presences.
Yeah.
Now I
That
only get
just
to talk
sounds-
to you over the phone.
Yeah, that sounds arrogant. Just graced. You graced me with your presence like you're some.
I said we graced each other with our presences, so I gave you the compliment too,
Oh.
dickbag.
But with that said, the streamer section is now up on the website. So you guys can check out all of the APM sponsored streamers. And that is at actionsperminute.net/streamers. And
It's a really cool
bit
website.
about them there. What about the website?
I said it's a really cool website. You do a very good job.
Oh, thanks,
Aw.
buddy.
Oh,
This is how we talk to each other, by the way, for you guys that don't know.
this is legitimate.
Every
how
day,
we talk to each other.
every day when I talk to Nathan, we go into these really stupid voices like, "Hey, buddy, how are you doing?" And just talk like that for like a minute before we
Get down to business.
normalize.
Business.
Before we get down to business.
Business.
Anyway, probably boring people with this, so let's just jump into our topics here.
Do it.
The first thing we got going is the death of GameStop. So it seems like their stock has been like in a nosedive for quite some time,
Mm-hmm.
and which sucks because I know some people that work at GameStop, RIP. But I could have seen this coming from a mile away, in my opinion.
I'm surprised they didn't go down when all the movie rental places went down, because that's about the time that, everything died. You had Hollywood Video shut down, which they had their little game store. All the blockbusters shut down. They had their game stores. And there wasn't very many video game stores that are still open. I think GameStop's probably one of the last ones. Everything else is like either digital download or you buy it off of Amazon.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like we used to go to one called Game Crazy.
Is that what Hollywood
And-
Videos was?
Yeah, I don't know if it was. I don't know if like it was a part of Hollywood Video. I know in our town it was, but I'm not sure if like Hollywood Video was the one that had those stores.
Oh, okay.
But the reason I say I could have seen it coming is mostly because everything is going to digital nowadays. That's one thing,
Right.
and also the kind of the emergence of the PC master race.
Right.
Everyone's switching to PC from consoles these days. Not many people are. I mean, there's plenty of people that still play console, but it's not, the main thing for people anymore. So with that said, GameStop, I don't know if they carry PC games. I don't remember that they do.
I don't think so. I think it's all console.
And even if they do, that still won't stop the digital marketplace of something like Steam.
Right.
To compete. I mean, you can do it from the comfort of your own home instead of having to go to GameStop.
Well, I mean, that's why I think it's it's kind of crappy for console players if they do end up shutting their doors, because it's kind of like PC. For me, anyways, there's very few stores here. Like, I think the only one that carries anything remotely close to what I ever need is Best Buy, and then you have your local computer stores that work on PCs. But if anything ever breaks in your computer, you have a very small chance of picking up something in town from one of those two stores, because it's usually like a niche thing, and you have to order it online to get it in. Now, GameStop is going to be that play. Well, I guess consoles don't have as big a need of buying parts, but if your controller breaks and you only have one, then you can go to GameStop and pick one up instead of having to wait on it. So that kind of sucks for console players.
Most like supermarkets, like Walmart, or I don't know about the other ones, but I know Walmart specifically carries stuff like that. They have a computer or electronics section.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Where you can pick up stuff like controllers or even games that they still carry in there, and that's about all you need at this point. Like, there is no need for something like a GameStop. I know, even several years ago, and even I'm sure in the last few years, that there's been like for big releases of video games, there's been like lines outside of GameStop. So it is kind of like a tradition,
right,
type of thing
for big release stuff.
Yeah, for big releases. But at this point, I mean, like I said, everything's digital. With Steam, with Origin, with every game is online now for PC. You can just download it. You don't have to have any hard copy of it in your hands. So could have seen it coming. And
rest in peace, GameStop.
Yeah, rest in peace. Maybe they can I don't know if they can invest at this point into anything online and be successful, but maybe they can turn it around. Who knows? But speaking of, digital market sales and everything, the next topic is actually the Intergalactic Summer Sale, which is Steam's summer sale.
Hell yeah.
It seems like everyone's trying to take Steam's model these days. Like, I mean, Origin's trying to do it, even though it's just EA games. All of these other clients are trying to do it as well, but Steam has blown up. Like, coming from I should have done my research on Steam, but I believe it originally came from like the same people that made Half-Life. I could be wrong. It's like Valve.
It was like it was Valve. It was like a chat room almost type of thing where you could see who was playing what games.
Right. And they kind of started their own little, online digital market. And then eventually now, I mean, everything's on Steam for the most part, other than, EA has their exclusives, which are on Origin and so on. But Steam has gotten places, and the summer sales is definitely the time to check it out for video games.
They have so many sales. Like, they put on sales all the time. I know, you have your summer sale, which is what's going on right now, and it usually covers a wide variety, and you can go through and pick out whatever you want. And they're really good discounts. Right. They're anywhere from 20 to 75% sometimes. And
yeah,
they have sales all the time.
I think for the past 2 years, every summer sale I've had someone buy Crusader Kings 2, which is a game I enjoy.
I actually bought it last summer.
Yeah, last summer, and this summer I had my brother buy it. Because for those of you that don't know, full price with all the DLCs, Crusader Kings is like a $250 game.
Jesus.
Which is pretty ridiculous. But
there's a lot of content to it, though.
Yeah, and they always put their game on the Steam summer sale, and they drop it like 90%. So you can get everything for like $60. And that's what I ended up doing.
Or you could do the smart thing like what I did and just buy the base game and let somebody else pay full price for it, and then they can host the games and you get all the expansions for it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, with Crusader Kings 2 specifically, I have all the DLCs for the most part. I think I'm missing a few now because they keep coming out with them. But yeah, you can get all the DLCs, and then if I play with anyone that only has the base game, which the base game alone was like $10 on the summer sale, then they get all my DLCs in the multiplayer game. So that's one way to do it.
For those of
but
you who don't know what Crusader Kings is, throw a little pitch out for them. Like, because I have no idea how to explain that game. It's kind of like a
it's
strategy map based. I don't know how to explain it.
it's very similar to the Civilization games, but it's it's not turn based. It is real time, so it's always going on. But the reason I say it's like Civilization is because the map is split up into counties of the whole world. So there's territories, kind of like the hexagons or octagons. I don't remember what they are of Civilization. But it's a lot more about kings, queens, and nobility and stuff like that, and keeping your dynasty alive. And it's really
a lot
fun
to keep up with.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun, but it can get very hectic very fast.
Yeah, it's a really, really complex game, but if you like stuff like Civilization, you could really sink a lot of time into Crusader Kings 2.
Yep.
It's a lot of fun. Like, I'm just going to throw out a little story real quick of what I did one time playing it. I established a little kingdom in the northwestern part of Europe, like the northern tip of Europe below England, but on the mainland, called Brittany. And that's just what that part of the world's called. And I established that over time. Most of my dynasty died out. I didn't notice until all I was left in my whole dynasty was this 60-year-old lady. And she became my queen because she was the only heir left. And I was desperately trying to whore her up with everybody so I'd get another heir. And it didn't happen because she was too old to have kids. Like her parts were expired.
Dried up.
So, when your dynasty dies, you lose the game. So, in my last ditch effort, I infiltrated the Catholic Church, where the Pope is, and I pretty much was successful in banging like 75% of the cardinals and the Pope himself.
Holy cow!
And the banger to all this is that my character had the trait of lover's pox, which is syphilis. So I pretty much gave the entire Catholic Church syphilis, and then I died and lost the game.
Nice.
But you can do shit like that, so it's a pretty fun game.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to the Steam summer sale. There's a lot of good stuff on there right now. Nothing that's caught my eye that I'm getting this year, but
the big names are Final Fantasy has a lot of their games on sale. Fallout's franchise has all their stuff on sale. Tomb Raider, some of the bigger names all put their stuff on sale.
I was actually thinking about getting GTA 5 because it's still like a $60 game, and now it's like $20 during the summer sale, so it's a pretty big discount.
I'm thinking about getting Origins Assassin's Creed. It's 50% off. So
yeah,
just haven't done it
there's
yet.
a lot of good stuff on there. But we'll move on from that and go to the next thing. So the NES Classic Mini is returning to market after people have requested it. I know when I first moved to the United States, that was our first console that we got here was the NES, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't looked too much into what the NES Classic Mini comes with because I know the games are pre-built. It's not like you have cartridges of every single game.
It's all loaded into the system. Yeah.
Right, and it has like 300 or 400 games, something like that. I'll have to look what's in it, but if it has some of the games that I used to play, I might consider looking into getting something like that because I had a ton of fun playing. Oh God, I think it was like Las Vegas Casino or something.
Yeah, dude, the gambling one.
Yeah, it was just like a story mode gambling experience. It made me fall in love with gambling, which I don't really. It doesn't happen anymore, but
Fire and Ice was the one I played the most, I think.
Yeah, Fire and Ice. I played there was these characters. I don't remember what they're called, but on the NES, you could get the same characters in every single sport. Like I had a soccer game that had those characters in it, and then you could pick up like an NHL game that had the same characters, and it was like these cartoon characters that they had. Uh, sounds really stupid because I don't remember anything about it.
Sounds pretty dumb.
But I used to play that a lot. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I never found a price point on what it was going to cost. So I don't know if they haven't announced that yet or what, but
it's probably going to be the same as before, which I believe was like 150 or something like that. It's a little steep, if that is the case.
It says Best Buy will have units available for sale in stores and online starting June 29th for $59.99. So,
oh, I mean, that's good. That's
a steal
a
of a deal, dude.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna have to go pick that up, especially if it's only $60.
Yeah, if it's just $60, definitely. There's a lot of good games on there, even if you don't play the ones I just mentioned. There's still Legend of Zelda, the original games.
Okay, so it only comes with 30 games.
30 games?
Yeah, 30 games. Let me.
Well, that's why it's $59.99.
Yeah, I mean, I can give you the list of what's on there if you want.
I mean, sure. Throw out some names.
So the big ones that I see is the Final Fantasy games, Mega Man, Metroid, Super Mario Brothers 2, Legend of Zelda, Adventure Link, Kirby's Adventure, Donkey Kong, of course, and Pac-Man. And that's about all the big ones that I see. But I mean, I'm not a big fan of those. Oh, Ghosts and Goblins. So.
Yeah, I mean those are definitely some of their household names. A lot of people like those games, but still, I enjoyed those games. Don't get me wrong, a lot of those I enjoyed playing, but I was never. I always played like the offshoot games on the NES. Mm-hmm. I mean, I personally, when I had an NES, I personally had like 80 games.
Oh yeah, you just had a cabinet full of those stupid cartridges. Those things are huge.
Yeah, I don't know what
dinner
I did with
plates.
Them. Probably still in my parents' attic.
Probably.
I'd have to look around. We probably threw them away. Piece of garbage.
Probably don't have a TV you can hook them up to.
What is this gray box with 2 buttons on it that doesn't do anything?
Trash. Yep.
So yeah, that's coming back. So if anyone's excited for that, you can pick it up for $60. It looks like so.
$60, dude.
There you go. Next thing here we got is Boeing, the plane company. They are working on a plane that reaches 4,000 miles per hour.
I don't know what Mach that is. That's got to be like Mach 3, 4. I don't remember what speed Mach is. I thought it was like 1,000 something miles per hour, but
all that reminds me of is, I'm not saying they shouldn't do it, because I think we definitely should continue advancing and trying new things, but all it reminds me of is the Concorde planes that they had going in the 90s, where they were like twice as fast as a normal plane.
Went Mach 2.
And there were several plane crashes with those, so they stopped making them. And that's what I'm worried about. This is, I definitely won't be the first person on it. Let me tell you that.
Well, I think they said that it was going to be like a military plane to start out, and after that they would move it into the private sector or whatever for people who wanted to make them. I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, if this becomes a norm of 4,000 mile per hour planes, if that becomes normal, I mean, that'll make travel so much faster.
Yeah, that means you can cross the United States in what, 30 minutes? How far is it from coast to coast? 2,000 miles?
That sounds too little. I think it's more than that.
Is it more than that?
Yeah, I mean, essentially you could get across in like 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, that's so crazy, dude.
Which is pretty insane. I mean, even like international flights, if you could do that.
You could cross the Atlantic in like 2 hours.
This is what I'm worried about. Is like, air traffic control can they really stop two planes from colliding if they're going that fast?
I think they can. Like that shit's pretty mapped out, pretty crazy. Anna's uncle is actually air traffic controller. And I mean there's like a science and algorithm to everything.
Oh yeah, I'm
So
sure. I'm just wondering, like, if someone doesn't notice it or something. I mean, mistakes like that have happened, and let's say there's two planes over the Atlantic that
Mhm.
are going opposite ways, one to the U.S. and one to Europe, and someone doesn't notice them, and then they collide at 4,000 miles an hour,
Nobody will feel it, that's for sure.
fucking shred city.
Yeah, I
It'll
think
just be a bunch of particles.
the last Concorde plane, or the last time one went up to fly was back in 2000. I was reading about it, and the engine or something caught fire and killed all like 190 people or something that was on the plane. And
Yeah,
after that,
I
they
mean,
shut them down.
yeah, these will be going at 4,000 miles per hour, so I wouldn't doubt if the engine catches on fire.
Yeah, that's the scary thing about building parts for airplanes. Like, I don't know. Like, it's always in the back of your head if a plane goes down. Is it something you ever touched?
I mean, what they need to do if they're going to start building like the next generation of planes that everyone travels on, like normal passenger planes,
Mm-hmm.
I think they finally need to put money into or invest in the future of the plane with some kind of safety system to make people a little more safe. I mean, planes in general are really safe. You're more
Right.
likely to get in a car accident and die from that than ever
A plane crash.
a plane crash. However, if something goes wrong, if you're in the plane, you happen to be in that 0.00 whatever the fuck percent of your plane, like engine goes out and you start plummeting to the earth, there is absolutely nothing you can do.
Yep. And you literally
It's-
just have to sit there and ride that bitch down to the ground, dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I think, right now I understand the financial reason why they wouldn't want to invest in it right now, because it doesn't happen, or it happens so seldomly that they don't want to invest in some kind of safety system that'll cost them millions or billions of dollars
Mm-hmm.
to save people, where they won't get a return. I mean, if they do something like that, like airplane tickets would go like skyrocket.
Yeah, but people would still use them. Like there's
Oh,
so
for
many
sure.
people that
People
have
have
to
to.
fly.
Yeah.
I don't
I mean,
know.
people would just be pissed, but I mean, I would feel much safer in an airplane if, like, the best animation of it that I've seen is inside, like, the actual fuselage of the plane.
Mm-hmm.
There's like another, it almost looks like a pill inside of the plane,
Mm-hmm.
where if something happens to the plane and the plane starts going down, they have like an eject button where the back of the plane opens, like this, just the inside of the plane where the passengers are,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like shits out the back of the plane. And then like there's a ton of parachutes up top, so it safely parachutes the capsule of the
Mhm.
plane to the ground,
Yeah.
or the ocean or wherever, and it's like it has flotation on it. So that's the best thing I can think of.
Be like a shell. The outside is a shell, and the inside just slides out the back with parachutes.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I don't know what else they could do, honestly, other than that. But
Yeah,
hanging
it's just when
everybody
you
a
get on the plane,
parachute.
dude, they're like, all right, here is your ticket, your seat number, and here's your personal parachute.
Yeah,
Good luck.
have fun.
That's the only other thing they could do, is give everyone a parachute.
If I ever got on an airplane and they handed me a parachute, I'd get right back off. I'm like, nope, not even.
Like,
Oh.
this plane is pretty old. It's looking like it might have some issues. Here's your parachute.
I'll walk.
There's
Thanks.
4 exits. I'd be like, yeah, there's 4 exits, and there's one right here that is me not even getting on the plane. So, so yeah, I guess we'll look forward to that and see what happens with those planes. But I wonder how that would look in the air. Seeing a plane that goes 4,000 miles an hour, probably pass through the sky in like seconds.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure your fighter jets can go that fast, and I see them flying around quite a bit. Doesn't take long for them to disappear. I mean,
Yeah,
you got to think you have a huge passenger jet moving at 4,000 miles an hour. That'd be crazy.
yeah. It's gonna end up being a ball of fire by the time it gets to its destination. All right. Before I freak myself out more on getting on planes. Last topic of discussion is Jurassic World Evolution,
Mm-hmm.
which one of our APM sponsored streamers, Zaretta, has been playing this quite a bit. Just came out. A lot of streamers have been playing this, and it's personally as a video game, it's not something I would probably play, but it seems like a little like almost
It's
like
kind
a
of like a Sim
simulation.
City. It's like a
Yeah,
Sim City for dinosaurs, basically.
right. Of like taking care of a dinosaur park or a Jurassic Park, if you will.
Right.
Um, and kind of building that up. And there's like several islands. You can unlock a lot of stuff, like incubate eggs, like get more dinosaurs, have them fight. I mean, that's what Zoretta's been doing. She just like puts them in a cage match.
A little gladiators arena or something.
Uh, yeah,
That's funny. That's kind of
um,
fucked up, but funny.
yeah, but it's looked pretty interesting. I haven't seen the new Jurassic World movie, um,
Not a
so I don't
dinosaur
know.
fan, so I'll never go see it. But like, I haven't even seen the original ones.
We played Ark for like months, and you're not a dinosaur fan?
No, like I'm really not. Like the dinosaur thing was not what drew me to Ark. Like the survival aspect and stuff like that was fun. Like as you noticed, I was the one that always sat back in the back and built the
Built.
base, and you guys went out and got the dinos for me. And like I was like, fuck that. Once I
I
had a
mean,
T Rex and I could, run around and nom on anything that came up to me, I was fine. But yeah, I
it
don't
just
like
sounds like you're
dinosaurs.
scared.
I mean, yeah.
Dinosaurs are pretty scary. That's one period in time that I wouldn't want to go back to.
Hell no.
Go back and get eaten by something that's like half your size.
We got to think right now, humans are at the top of the food chain. Back
Right.
then, dinosaurs were at the top of the food chain. Like, I don't want to know what it feels like to be at the bottom of the food chain. I don't think that'd feel very good.
I mean, the only reason we're at the top of the food chain is because of weapons.
Well, yeah. That and a meteor destroyed
If we
all the
were,
dinosaurs.
if we had no weapons, dude, we'd just be a bunch of apes and fucking cougars and shit. I mean, not that they already can't wreck your shit,
Mm-hmm.
but at least if you have a gun, you can put a few in it before he gets to you.
Yep. Yeah,
That's
other than Jurassic World, there's been a few other games that have kind of been trending that I've seen recently. Realm Royale is one of them that's been coming out. I've seen a lot of
Yep.
big streamers play, little streamers play, and little streamers, I guess smaller streamers would be the word I'm looking for. But it looks pretty cool. It's a different version of Battle Royale. I haven't picked it up yet, but I'm thinking about getting it. It has like for those who haven't seen it, it's like a class-based specific Battle Royale. So you have different classes that you can play. It looks pretty fun. I like how you can have a mount and you can run around and shit, but
yeah. The art style is very similar to Fortnite,
right.
but I do really like the like there's no fall damage. So if you fall from a building, there's no
I think
fall
there
damage
is
from
at a
that.
certain point.
No,
Isn't
because
there?
I mean, even when you jump from the Zeppelin or whatever it is that you originally jumped from, you don't have a parachute. You literally just slam
I
to the
slam it
ground.
to the ground. Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, it has a class system. I think that's where battle royale should be heading at this point. Um, I think having a class system of some kind is a good path to take towards making battle royales an actual esport. I mean, we talked about this a lot in Samuel Adams' episode
Mm-hmm.
about the recipe for success for battle royale being in esports, because right now it is an esports, but
Two
it's
RNG.
not. Yeah, it's too RNG for it to be like truly competitive, where you have people that are the best at the top of the food chain. So,
Mm-hmm.
but with that said, that's really all we got today. We're cutting it a little short these episodes were actually supposed to be a little shorter. It's just last week we got fucking carried away with it.
Yep.
So we're going to wrap this one up. So thank you guys for listening to the episode. I hope you enjoyed our midweek mashup. And even if you didn't, we would love your feedback, which can be sent to coldonepodcast@gmail.com, or you can leave us a review on iTunes. It helps us out a lot so that we can make the show better for you guys, whether that be the midweek mashup or our regular show on Saturdays. You can follow us on social media, which is at Cold One Podcast, and that's for Twitter and Facebook. Just have to look that up there. You can also check out our website, actionspermanent.net, where you can see the latest episodes. You can check out our APM sponsored streamers on the streamer page now, and just chill out there if that's where you prefer to look at things. That's also where you can get the link to our Discord if you want to talk to us. We're actually recording this right now in our Discord.
Yeah, you just drop in and yell at us in the middle of an episode. Yeah, don't do that.
In the middle of an episode, yeah. And then you can be on the podcast. There you go.
Hell yeah.
But if you like what we do, please tell your friends, coworkers, and family. Thanks, guys. And remember, don't drink and drive.
Goodbye.
Yeah.